Chaos erupted outside a Miami club when Terence Crawford and Gervonta Tank Davis clashed in a heated showdown. Punches were thrown, harsh words flew, and careers were put on the line. The tension reached its peak when Davis took things too far, hurling insults at Crawford and his family. To add fuel to the fire, he even mocked Crawford's pursuit of a fight with Canelo Alvarez. This rivalry had been simmering for months, but last night, it erupted in the most dramatic way possible. Let's break it all down. Picture this, a wild Miami night, packed with celebrities and sports stars at the city's hottest club. Among the VIPs were Terence Crawford and Gervonta Tank Davis, both out to unwind after their recent fights. At first, they stayed in separate sections, but as the night progressed, their paths inevitably crossed. According to witnesses, tension spiked when Davis approached Crawford, clearly looking for trouble. What started as lighthearted banter quickly spiraled out of control as Davis began hurling personal insults, not just at Crawford, but at his family as well. The disrespect was on another level, with Davis openly mocking Crawford's loved ones in front of the entire crowd. Crawford, usually known for keeping his cool, initially tried to brush it off. But when Davis took jabs at his pursuit of a fight with Canelo Alvarez, the tension hit a boiling point. With a smirk, Davis laughed and taunted him, saying, "Canelo doesn't even care about you, man. You're just chasing a payday."
A fight with you and Terence Crawford, it would be one of the biggest in boxing.
We're not talking about yet about the fight. Me and Turkalash know each other, and then we wanna see what happens.
And when do you want to get out next? I know you're here in London tonight. When are you going to be in a camp? When are you going to be in a camp? I know you're
in camp, training camp in March.
Okay, so
at the beginning of the middle of the February.
That was the breaking point for Crawford. In a split second, he snapped, lunging at Davis and throwing a punch that caught everyone off guard. Security rushed in to break it up, but by then, the club had already descended into chaos. People were screaming, cameras were flashing, and the entire place was in total disarray. That IT was a moment no one would forget anytime soon, and not for the right reasons. If you've been following the boxing world, you know this clash didn't come out of nowhere. The tension between Crawford and Davis had been brewing for months, fueled by social media jabs and heated interviews. It all started when Crawford took a shot at Davis for not getting an invite to Canelo Alvarez's exclusive ring awards bash in London, a dig that didn't sit well with Davis. Never one to stay silent, Davis fired back, accusing Crawford of chasing paychecks rather than true greatness, especially with his controversial decision to challenge Canelo.
Are you retiring?
What changed?
What made this shit trash, garbage?
If you got the opportunity to sign a prospect for GTD, who will be?
Gervonta, something should have happened during this time because when I saw you at the Frank Martin press conference, it looked like you were like talks about retirement was not even discussed at this moment, and now it's something you keep on repeating. Is it just because obviously what you've done to boxing since you were a kid and everything? Where's Calvin Ford? Is Calvin Ford or Leonard LB usually they're around to?
Think you might be getting a little for it though? You know, like say you got a sponsor name.
The insults kept flying, each one sharper than the last. This feud had already been making headlines, but no one expected it to erupt into a full-blown fight until now.
Yeah. Just won his debut at 154. Said if the money's right, we'll fight. Everybody wants that fight. What do you feel about that matchup? People saying the weight, all this stuff. How do you feel about that?
You know, everybody wants to fight me. Everybody calling me out and everything. And you know, like I say, I have nothing to win with Crawford. 2-3 weights class less than me. But if the money is right, why not? Right? Why not? But look, I'm focused 100% on Berlanga. I know I have a challenge in front. I never overlooking any fighter. So I'm focused 100% in this and then we...
Now, let's dive into the whole Terence Crawford versus Canelo Alvarez situation. The very thing Davis used to mock him for. Crawford's decision to move up to 168 pounds and challenge Canelo for his unified super middleweight titles has sparked mixed reactions.
Terence Crawford was Turkey Al-Sheikh at the other event across town, put out an open challenge to you on the internet with Turkey Al-Sheikh calling you out. What's your response to Terence Crawford's call out tonight?
On one hand, some see it as a bold move, a chance for Crawford to cement his legacy by taking on one of the biggest names in the sport. On the other, critics argue he's just chasing a payday with little hope of actually defeating Canelo.
Hey, I want Canelo. Is there anybody in the camp that would say, you're not ready for this?
It's a big boy. He's strong. It's a conversation. It's not just, oh man, you will whoop his ass.
Like, yes, man type stuff.
I'm not worried about Canelo. I'm not thinking about Canelo. I'm just focused on Israel Madden.
In a small way, is this a stepping stone to your dream fight?
I don't look at fights as stepping stones.
Davis didn't hold back on this one. He openly mocked Crawford for believing Canelo even cares about him or their potential fight, that Canelo's got bigger fish to fry. Asterisk Davis reportedly said. Asterisk, he doesn't even know you exist. You're out here begging for a fight like it's your retirement plan.
A metal shield, and you have a glass shield. Talk about the punch resistance. What do you think it takes to successful, man?
You gonna see? You gonna see?
Could he get it in the future? I mean, you came up from 35, right?
He ain't fighting no real guys at 47.
See, okay. What about everyone's talking about arrow fighting the winner of Canelo and Jamel. Could you ever do that? Is that too much weight or
What, 168?
Yeah.
I ain't going to
right?
So you got Canelo winning then, right?
Yeah, he fighting that.
The truth is, many have dismissed the Crawford versus Canelo fight as nothing more than a spectacle, built more for entertainment than genuine sporting value.
And my brother, Terence Crawford, wants to fight Canelo.
Yeah.
Just from your expert opinion, knowing how Canelo fights, what he's like in the ring, I know you haven't been in the ring with Terence, but what do you think of that fight?
I truly believe, that, anything can happen in boxing, you know what I'm saying? And Terence Crawford is a legend. He's great. He's a great fighter. The only thing I see that I favor Canelo is that, is his weight.
Yeah.
And that he's more bigger. You know what I'm saying? That's the only thing. But as far as skill set wise, IQ, I feel like Crawford could match anybody and probably do way better. You know what I'm saying? But, Crawford is a legend, bro.
Yeah.
And like I said, you can't.
Boxing experts and analysts argue that Crawford should earn his shot by facing top contenders at 168 first, rather than getting a direct pass to Canelo. Davis's taunts hit a nerve, and that's what ultimately pushed Crawford over the edge.
You though, is that career defining? Is this a legacy fight for you?
Well, when I got shot, for me to change my life the way that I did and stop hanging out with the guys that I hung out with, my career started going up. And yes, this is a legacy fight for me. This is a mega fight. This is a superstar fight. This is all those in one. With me and Errol Spence Jr. A lot of people, they write me off because they say, oh, well, he's too small. Or he haven't fought nobody like Errol Spence, or his resume is this, or his resume that. There's a lot of things that a lot of people can say, but on July 29th, all the answers to everybody's questions.
Fans went absolutely wild when news of the Crawford-Davis brawl broke. Social media lit up like a Christmas tree, with hashtags like hashtag Shark Club Chaos, hashtag Crawford versus Davis, and hashtag Boxing Drama trending instantly. Many sided with Crawford, believing Tank crossed the line by dragging his family into it. Others saw it as classic Davis, stirring the pot to keep himself in the headlines as he inches closer to retirement. And let's be real, Davis isn't just throwing hands for fun. He's building hype, and it's working.
What trash? What changed? What made this shit trash? Garbage.
If you got the opportunity to sign a prospect for GTD, who will be?
Gervonta, something should have happened during this time, because when I saw you at the Frank Martin press conference, it looked like you were like talks about retirement was not even discussed at this moment, and now it's something you keep on repeating. Is it just because obviously what you've done through boxing since you were a kid and everything? Can you keep us, where's Calvin Ford? Is Calvin Ford or Leonard Edelby? Usually they're around to.
You think you might be gaining a love for it? You never know. But you know, like I said, you got to cross today.
But here's the kicker. Davis isn't stopping with Crawford. Word on the street is that he's in talks for a massive rematch with Ryan Garcia, a deal rumored to be worth a jaw-dropping $150 million, and backing it? None other than Turkey Alashik, the powerhouse behind some of boxing's biggest spectacles.
Hey, Ryan again. If they're not on some host, I text that ass again. Tell them boys to give me 150 M's. I'm coming. You know what I mean? When I start streaming out that, and that, stop it, knock it off, cuz. Stop it. Tell them to send that bag, and I'm coming. And I'm, you know.
Turkey's involvement isn't just about the money. It's about bringing that big show energy to every fight he touches. He's the mastermind behind crossover bouts and super fights. And right now, he's playing a role in both Crawford's and Davis's latest moves.
I don't know, Johnny Boy Boxing fight hype. I just want to ask you, what do you think about Terence Crawford? What do we think about Terence Crawford's performance, and do you want to get a fight with him?
Is that if the money is right? I mean,
$100 million. I heard Turkey offered you a big money already.
Under 50.
150?
Fans are buzzing about how Turkey's influence is reshaping the sport, turning every fight into a blockbuster event. Whether it's Crawford chasing Canelo or Tank igniting rivalries, it all seems like part of a bigger plan to dominate headlines and keep fans glued to their screens. And with Tank looking to go out with a bang, you can bet we're in for some serious fireworks before he hangs up the gloves.
That's 2 more weight classes. Like, once he gets touched by Canelo, it's going to be different.
I am concerned about him absorbing a Canelo punch, especially through the course of 12 rounds. We do know this about Canelo. He's going to slow down. So I think if anything, Canelo would try to start fast and bang on him and break him down before he gets later, and he still got that kind of steam. But, there's so many components that make a champion. There's so many components that make a legend. It's just so much to go into. It's a conversation that lasts an hour easily, where we talk about all of the components that Terence Crawford has, all of the components that Canelo had, and how we find how they even out and who trumps one another. You know what I mean? We tried to do that with Errol Spence and Terence Crawford, and we'll see how that panned out.
For Crawford, this incident could have serious consequences. With a massive fight against Canelo on the horizon, the last thing he needs is offering drama. Promoters and sponsors won't be thrilled about their fighter making headlines for a street brawl, and it could even put the fight at risk.
I want to box some more. I want to do therapy, right? But I feel as though if I do therapy, it will lose the fire that I have inside me. I want everything out of me, where so I don't never think about fighting again. I don't think about even getting angry. You know what I mean? Because I have 2 girls, 2 daughters. I'm wanting to be much softer. You know what I mean? Be more humble.
Davis, on the other hand, has been hinting at retirement for a while, and this incident might push him even closer to calling it quits. He's got one last fight lined up against Lamont Roach Jr. at the Barclays Center, and talks of a blockbuster showdown with Keyshawn Davis are heating up. But this brawl could cast a shadow over his final moments in the sport.
They talking. They talking. But you know I get. You know I gonna 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 get. A real machine. You know I gonna get. A real one. And I promise you, you better leave them home. You better leave the females home. On my mother, you better leave the females home and the kids. On my mother. Now watch this. Now watch.
They gonna be
now watch. Now watch.
What's different from 10 minutes ago?
You know how when they told you said how like I posed for Lomachenko, right? And like how he said like he was retired and things like that. I feel as though like we've been in it so long that we are getting tired of it. Like we've been beating our body up so long, but it be like situations like just now, like where he talking that spark the plug again.
Yeah, that's what. That's
all it takes for you. Is that all it takes? Just a little comment.
Nah, but that's what I want. Though. I don't want you to fight me like you said you're going out.
Always go like this. Always go like this.
Nah, what I'm saying, you just said you feel like you're going out.
They go to sleep.
I don't want you to feel like.
Both fighters could face fines or suspensions from boxing commissions, and the court of public opinion is already in full swing. It's a messy situation.
And that he wants you, things like that. Does that stuff just sound crazy, or just like I'm supposed to be called out? You know,
when you look at all the great fighters, they was getting called out by everybody from different weight classes. So it's nothing, that I'm not surprised about.
A Tank would be something that he said he'll touch your chin and.
Man, everybody say what they'll do, but Tank is in his weight class for a reason, and I don't see him come up to 147 face me.
Just speaking about you. Is that ever a possible fight?
Yeah, if you want to dare to be great, he'd be like all the other fighters that moving up 2 weight classes, daring to be great.
You a fighter.
Tell him come up there.
You gotta come to 154.
He said I got a glass chin. So tell him come and touch me.
Oh, wow. Devontae said you got a glass.
He said I got a glass chin. Tell him come and touch me.
At 147?
At 147. I'll make 147.
Ooh, see, oh man. You gonna have a free camp.
Then what the people gonna say? Oh, he's beating up.
Imagine the hype if Crawford and Davis decided to settle their beef in the ring. It would be one of the biggest fights in recent history. While there are hurdles to making it happen, the demand is undeniable. Will they face consequences, or could this street clash turn into a sanctioned bout? Their legacies and careers hang in the balance, and fans are eager for answers. Point one thing certain: this rivalry is far from over. What do you think? Team Crawford or Team Davis? Could this fight actually happen? Drop your thoughts below and stay tuned for more updates.